Our protagonist's last life was a disaster. He was betrayed by his girlfriend in the end. Even in his last second, his girlfriend enjoyed with another man in front of him. But he reborn and returned to 1 month before the end. This time, he only lived for himself. Let's start the story.
The world is already falling into chaos as a volcano erupts right in the center of a large city. A commercial bus races through the city carrying a few dozen people. A few days ago, the underwater eruption of Mount Fuji caused a massive earthquake that sent tens of thousands of people to their deaths. Today, even a smaller city has to be evacuated because of how intense the disasters are becoming. Through the streets of this city, a bus speeds towards the evacuation location. Inside the bus, a woman realizes that she was in such a rush to enter the bus that she didn't bring any evacuation supplies. Because of that, she will have to buy new things in Jiangnan City. The man beside her asks if she has seen the news. The goods in the Walmart and Ali warehouses in Jiangnan City have all been moved. In fact, that's old news because today, Dongming Lake in Shancheng dried up, and the Darundong warehouse has been emptied too. The woman speculates that the total value of all these supplies could be in the hundreds of billions, but it is in fact in the trillions. Another man behind her confirms that the loss of supplies and various natural disasters are just the surface of everything that's happening. The truth is that the world is coming to an end. The people on the bus are frightened by the sudden thought, but they don't seem to believe the strange guy. One of them even says that he's actually looking forward to the end of the world. In that scenario, all living beings will become equal. However, that's not true. The strange guy knows that even at the end of the world, there is no day when all living beings become equal. That's because he has personally experienced the end of the world himself in a previous life. Buildings were destroyed, and everything that humanity built was erased. On top of that, giant monsters roamed the land, and everything was completely hopeless. In his last life, he was just an ordinary delivery man who was as surprised about the apocalypse happening as anyone else. When the world began to end, there was an abnormal release of solar energy, and it changed multiple things. The atmospheric temperature rose sharply, crustal movements occurred frequently, and monsters hidden underground also came to the surface. Thanks to that, the whole world changed. And in a new world, there is a new order. The extreme scarcity of supplies, even if it's just for a packet of instant noodles, ham sausage, or a block of ice, caused people to give up everything they had. This guy is different from everyone else because he has seen everything for himself. His name is Su Chen, and he was reborn 1 month before the start of the apocalypse after dying in his previous life. Thanks to that, he has all the experience, and now he can plan ahead of time to live the best life he can. While he's thinking, the woman from earlier walks up to him to talk. What he said scared her a bit, and she's now looking for someone to be with her during this entire thing. Unfortunately for her, that person isn't going to be him, because he has more important things to do. He leaves her alone and steps off the bus once it gets to his destination. He doesn't need people holding him back when he knows that what's most important in the apocalypse is an abundance of supplies. In his last life, he wasted a lot of time searching for supplies, so this time, he needs to be prepared in advance. He has his eyes set on the warehouse he works in as a delivery man. He grabs his work jacket from a hanger by the door and heads into the storage room. A coworker by the door informs him that being 21 seconds late means that he will have half a day's salary deducted from his salary. The guy apologizes and heads into the warehouse to clear it out for himself. In his last life, when the apocalypse came, the boss of this warehouse ran away in advance, and his annual salary went down the drain. So these supplies are going to be his compensation. To take them all for himself, he activates a power of his called space. This spatial ability allows him to put everything around him into a super large cubic space with dimensions of tens of thousands of meters in length, width, and height according to his will. The space unfolds in the warehouse, and he's able to grab lots of supplies, including rice, cooking oil, meat, and other foodstuffs. Everything, including the shelving itself, gets stored in his space. Thanks to this, he manages to purchase a large number of supplies for $0. And thanks to this ability, he was able to dry up 2 entire lakes and plunder several cities that were destined to be destroyed thanks to the apocalypse. Back in his past life, even a packet of instant noodles was a luxury. But thanks to his spatial ability, he's able to store several tons of fresh food in frozen time, meaning that the food remains fresh no matter how long it's kept in there. He finally won't have to eat dirt in the apocalypse to survive like in his previous life. After collecting all the samples, he can finally breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that he's not going to suffer in this new life. While he's checking on all the supplies he'd managed to gather, 3 men walk into the storage area to start clearing out all the supplies. They are all surprised to see the place has been completely emptied and turned into nothing but a massive hall. There's no one else there but the strange guy standing in the center, so they ask him what happened to all the supplies that were in the storage area. He immediately tells them that he has taken everything for himself. The men are surprised by his nonchalant admission, and they rush to catch him, but he easily uses his powers to dodge out of the building and remarks that he won't be late anymore since he's quitting. Then he just barely teleports away before one of the men can grab him. The 3 men are left desperately searching the area for him, but he has completely disappeared. Outside the warehouse, a portal opens up close to the ground, and the man backflips out of it and lands safely in an alleyway between the buildings. This second ability is called Space Jump, and it allows him to move within a 3-meter space whenever he wants. In the apocalypse, this ability allowed him to enter abandoned buildings to find supplies and safely escape from dangerous situations. Even in the face of mutant beasts, his space jump ability saved his life in crucial moments. With that out of the way, his zero-cost shopping mission is now complete. He throws his work jacket into the air and starts walking away from the warehouse. Suddenly, his phone vibrates, and he pulls it out of his pocket to see an emergency broadcast message. It informs him that the Earth is currently experiencing intense movement, causing localized natural disasters to appear all around the area. The message warns him to be careful, but tells him that the disasters will not affect his daily life. The official statement from the government is to not panic in hopes that the general public will remain calm. Do they even know that the world is coming to an end? While he's looking at his phone, it rings with a call from someone that makes his face twist in disgust. It's a woman named Jiang Xiaoqian, and just the sight of her name on his phone makes his hands tremble in anger. Suchen takes a deep breath, then picks up the call. As soon as he puts the phone to his ear, her voice comes from the other end, screaming at him in anger. He has not talked to her for a long time, and she is angry that he disappeared without letting her know. He even put his house on sale with his real estate agent. She asks our protagonist if he really thinks that he will find a woman willing to be with him after selling his house. The woman on the other end is his fiancée, Xiao Qian, and she isn't someone he's very interested in talking to. On her side of the line, she's applying lipstick after just being done cheating on him with another man. While another man named Xiao Yu relaxes on the bed behind her, she continues insulting Su Chen through the phone, asking him if he remembers his responsibility as a man. He may not care about the house, but she's still a woman, and she wants him to give her the house as a gift so she can feel more secure with him. After she's done talking, he asks if she's done with her rant and if there's anything else she wants to say. His attitude towards her makes her even more annoyed, and she decides to give him one more chance to come back and transfer the ownership of the house to her. If he doesn't do that, then she will refuse to marry him. She tells him that she's on her way back to Chengdu, and that she hopes they will talk more when she gets there, but he ends the call without answering her. Xiaoqian spent 5 years with him in the apocalypse in his past life. He searched everywhere for supplies to feed her and brought her to a safe house, where he continued to take care of her. If it wasn't for him, she would have starved to death and died in the middle of the end of the world. Yet, even with that, she cheated on him multiple times with a violent man that beat Su Chen on multiple occasions, anytime he came back empty-handed. Xiao Yu also accused him of hiding all the good things from them and keeping it to himself. One day, Xiao Yu killed Su Chen in the very safe house where he took care of Xiaoqian right in front of her, then fooled around with her right in front of his dead body, all while calling him useless. She didn't seem to care, and told Xiao Yu that Su Chen died because he was incompetent, all while he slowly died in the corner and watched it happen with his last breath. He was wronged by her in his last life, and he made the mistake of entrusting her with his life once before. But this time, both Jiang Xiaoqian and the man she cheated on him with, Xiao Yu, are going to pay the price for everything they did to him. Our protagonist will make sure that they won't die easily, and that they'll experience the pain they put him through 100 times over. His hand shakes in anger at the thought of what they did to him.
What would happen to them? How would the protagonist take his revenge? And how will he survive in disaster? Subscribe Plot of the Story for more comic stories.